Hello, welcome back to Bastions and Basilisks. I'm Kalvin,
I'm Brandon.
and this episode we're talking about the Arcana cleric domain. I'm not going to put cleric in it because it's the Arcana domain. The only class that has domains are clerics. All right, and obviously it's a me video.
The only class that has clerics.
Domains. I said domains.
I heard domains at first, and I was like, domains, clerics, and I was like, okay.
But the only class that has domains,
clerics.
comma, clerics. We've already sidetracked. You've ruined the whole video. No.
We don't have.
We don't sidetrack. Never. This one actually came out of the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide. I think it's okay. I've looked over it before. We're obviously going through it, but it's interesting. It's an interesting way of kind of melding arcane and divine. First ability, Arcane Initiate. When you choose this domain at first level, you gain proficiency in the Arcana skill, and you gain 2 cantrips of your choice from the wizard's spell list. For you, these cantrips count as cleric cantrips. Solid. Get a free skill.
That's really good.
You get a free skill. You get 2 more cantrips, which means and clerics start with 3 or 4. So and if you get you could get if you're a human, you take variant, you could get Magic Initiate and then get another random cantrip that you can cast
from any spell list.
And wizards have some solid cantrips that are damage dealing, and then this subclass, like a lot of cleric domains, get their level 8 ability adds their wisdom modifier to cantrip damage. So if you have the more damage dealing cantrips you have, although I'm prone to Toll the Dead, so that doesn't do.
So the only thing that there's 2 things that I find useful about your most hated class is that I like Eldritch Blast.
You mean the worst class in the game? Yes. Eldritch Blast. Yeah. See, Eldritch Blast here's the thing. What's the range of Firebolt?
120. And it's a D10 also.
So it's the same damage. The only difference is Eldritch Blast is force damage, which is less resisted. And Warlocks get 8 million invocations.
I think you also can
hit boost.
Blast
boost. True. So, but that means you have to make multiple attacks. So it's kind of it's a 6 of
trade-off.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other type of thing. Because you could roll real poorly 4 times, or roll poorly once, or roll really good 1 time, or roll really good 4. So it's
the
statistics. If you have advantage, it's one of those. If you have advantage on all your attacks this round, rolling really 4 times increases your likeliness of getting a crit because you're rolling technically 8 d20 and taking the 4 highest. Sort of.
So for me, it's I like Eldritch Blast. Now I haven't done this part in a long time, but the second reason why I like it is the invocation of Devil's Sight, which allows you to see magical darkness.
Right.
And that is something that I've grabbed up until recently. I still remade a character who had Devil's Sight because at the time I didn't know.
We're not talking about the shittiest class in the game. We're talking about clerics.
Yeah, so it's I was referencing more Magic Initiate, but yeah.
Yeah. I know. Yes, you could take but you don't get the invocations.
Yeah, that's a separate.
So if you wanted to, you could take Magic Initiate, and then eventually take the Eldritch whatever that came out of Tasha's. Yeah, I think. And so then you could start doing your charisma modifier on. So maybe that's a cool concept for this. But so or instead you just take Magic Initiate, take Eldritch Blast, and now once you reach 8th level, you're doing your wisdom modifier, and so you don't even have to take Eldritch Adept to do your primary, because it might still use your charisma to hit, but it would use your wisdom for damage. So anyway, two free cantrips and a skill proficiency. Solid. I think the knowledge domain will go over that. Gives you a skill or something. So it's not that weird. It's not armor proficiency like a lot of them get. So it's obviously. It's kind of the branch. One is more combat focused, one is less, and that's why usually they get potent spell casting at 8, or the other one that makes it so when they hit with melee weapons, they do whatever damage is relevant. All right, Channel Divinity, Arcane Abjuration. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and one celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend of your choice that is within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw, provided that the creature can see or hear you. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly end its move in a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action to try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. After you reach 5th level, when a creature fails to saving throw against your Arcane Abjuration feature, this creature is banished for 1 minute, as in a banishment spell, no concentration required, if it isn't on its plane of origin and its challenge rating is at or below a certain threshold, as shown on the Arcane Banishment table. I don't like that.
I think that's so. I've never witnessed banishment in game.
My thing. Let me just finish this. It's 5th, 8th, 11th, 14th, 17th, just exactly like the turn undead gets, and it's half CR lower, 1 CR lower, 2 or lower, 3 or lower, 4 or lower. So that follows the exact same thing as turn undead and like destroy undead ability. My thing is it's banishment. Although I think banishment. Well, now I need to check because I think banishment if.
I will pull it up on my phone.
Well, I'm looking at it right now.
Well, I want to know so I can also read it.
If the target is native to a different plane of existence than the one you're on, the target is banished with a faint popping noise, returning to its home plane. If the spell ends before 1 minute is passed, the target reappears left or in the nearest unoccupied space. Otherwise, the target doesn't return. Oh, okay. So you can't permanently banish them.
I think it's a different spell. For
Banishment?
some reason.
So
it might be. No, that's actually really cool that like it pretty much does exactly that. Like it says has in the banishment spell.
Yeah. So that means that you could go turn undead or Arcane Abjuration, and then
runs away and then eventually blinks out of existence.
The only negative is that you can only target one.
Yeah.
Whereas turn undead just hits all undead in it. I would see that's. I mean, it's also there's a lot. Although it's still 4th or lower, so it's I don't know. I think it should be. I guess if it fails, at once you're 5th level, instead of destroying them, you're banishing them. So you're still fighting them. I don't know. I would prefer that they were just. I would prefer there was multiple target.
I can understand that. This seems more like maybe this could save in the event someone's about to be taken out, destroyed, killed, this it's great in the aspect that me seeing it for the first time, I think it's really cool that, one, it pretty much is afraid of you, like as in the fear spell, and then it runs away, and then it blinks out of existence if it fails its the saving throw, if I'm correct.
Yeah, at 5th level or after 5th level.
Yeah, and then
instead of running away, and its challenge rating is below a certain threshold. So if it fails its saving throw and its CR half or lower at 5th level, it's banished for a minute. Which means, but yeah, that's the negative. It sucks that you can't just turn all fiends. Maybe to be fair though, it's also you choose it's more than just undead. Whereas turn undead only works against undead. This is celestials, elementals, fey, or fiends. So you can target more. So I guess that's rereading. I guess that kind of balances it out because it's more versatile, but narrower.
Yeah, it's like
so
this could be like, say there's a Eladrin that you're fighting. Only reason I bring up Eladrin is that it's brought up in another game. So say there's an Eladrin with several creatures that are trying to like take on your party. If you take care of the leader, if it's under that CR and it's just more for turn economy, you get rid of him hopefully, and then it blinks out of existence. depending on your DM, it's like, oh, leader's gone. What do we do? Maybe they can run away, or they're disorganized and not really thinking that clearly.
Yeah,
So
the negative is the banishment is only
for 1 minute.
Well, it's also at 17th level it's CR4 or lower, so
you're not really in a challenge.
It's not as strong. It's because it's the big thing about undead. You turn undead is the amount of undead that you can get can be thrown at you. You just turn all of them and then suddenly it's like the ending of the first was that British pseudo parody spy movie.
No idea.
It had like Colin Firth and Targan something. But at the end of it, essentially, it's like everybody has all of the people that follow the bad guy have like chips planted in their neck, and then essentially Kingsman, yes. So it's like the ending.
The only reason why I didn't know the names, I just knew about the chips, and I was like, oh, is that the first one?
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of the movie. Yeah, the first Kingsman movie. So they essentially turn a dead is like that if they're low enough level. You're
just remember the party at the end.
Anyway, so I like Arcane Abjuration. You still have Turn Undead. You still have Destroy Undead. So it's not a negative. It's not. I don't think it's going to be as useful as some of the cleric. Like Life Domain is really useful, but only if they're below half. We'll get to that one. But so it's solid for what it is. I don't think it's bad. It's like I said, it's more versatile who it can target, but narrower in how many it can target. But you can still, you can still banish them. So maybe you don't want to fight them.
But, yeah, maybe it's like I said, like it is up to you in what the situation calls that your DM puts you in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, one less thing in the turn order for a period of time is really useful depending on how many people are fighting you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or you fighting them.
My only thing is I would change it so that you can, I don't know, target multiple, maybe up to your wisdom modifier or your proficiency modifier.
I like that.
That'd be the only thing I really change because it just, it has to be, you have to pick one type and it has, and it can only be up to your proficiency modifier. Because it's like, cool, we're level 11, we're fighting something that's a CR2. Like, I could sneeze at it and kill it. Why do I need to turn it or banish it? And it's like, it only targets one.
It's like a monk using all flurry blows on a single creature that would probably be destroyed in one hit, just to make a point.
Right. On a wounded, currently rolling death saving throws goblin or something. Flurry of blows. It's like that.
Just One Punch Man versus the mosquito.
No, because he didn't get the mosquito.
I was thinking
it's like the prepared hero, the overly cautious hero.
Have you still have to watch that, but I've heard apparently
it's really good, and it just rips your heart out at one point. But the big thing is like he's overly cautious, and so he like fights like a slime or something, kills it, and then like hellfires it, like throws like multiple fireballs, like pretty much like incinerates everything, like theoretically incinerates this entire family tree. Like that's how thorough he tries to be of just that singular slime. And it's like, all right, there's no particles of this slime existing ever. I have removed it from all space and time. Okay, I feel good now. Like it's that thing where you're like,
I feel relatively safer now that this thing has been absolutely destroyed.
All right, so Spellbreaker. Starting at 6th level, when you restore hit points to an ally with a spell of 1st level or higher, you can also end one spell of your choice on that creature. The level of the spell you end must be equal to or lower than the level of the spell slot you use to cast a healing spell. So if somebody's currently under a Dominate spell, you could...
I'm going to be honest. I didn't understand that at first, and then I understood the point of what it meant, because I thought it meant you can end when your current spell's on it. I was like, that sounds really bad. And I was like, oh wait, it says any spell.
Right.
So like a silent, blindness, deafness, like you said, dominate, like
confusion.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, but you have to use it of a spell slot. The only negative is like if a GM's kind of a douche, is like, oh, I upcast this, but I didn't tell him. I cast this as a 4th level. It's normally a 3rd level.
Yeah.
Like type of thing. But don't be that kind of guy. So, and it's mostly guys. So I'm throwing guys as a specific term, not a neutral term. Look at you. Not you camera, not you, Brandon.
You guys typically destroy everything that I have in like a few minutes. I've openly admitted where I've purposely just kept the HP at infinite until you guys dealt with it suitably.
But no, that's a good spell because it's not, you don't have to dispel magic, so you're not spending a turn dispelling magic and possibly not dispelling the magic or counterspell. It just boom, as long as it's of the proper level. So if you're 6 levels, you can do 3rd level spells. Somebody has something, yeah, they're blindness, deafness, confusion, whatever, or one of the ones like dominate person or charm person. You could be like, well, because most people, if I charm you or hold person, most of the enemies are then going to attack you because they get automatic critical hits and advantage on. So why not beat the crap out of the person that's being held? So
in this situation,
I'm spending a 2nd or 3rd level spell slot to cure wounds on you or healing word or whatever, and also removing the hold person on you. The only negative is if your turn was before mine, then now you can't go yet. But if it's after mine, then congrats. No, it's good.
It's interesting to see how that could go.
It's
definitely like I would imagine it's like, say the enemy advancing party just happens to like go up next to the person that has been charmed and like they're having to fight against their original crew. You just go up there and slap them with the healing spell. Does it say you have to touch them? No. So you could like healing word them. So you healing word them and then like dispel the charm person, and the barbarian is just surrounded by enemies in their rage, just looks around because the charm person's gone.
My only thing is I don't like because it says when you restore hit points. So if you are charmed and have not taken any damage, technically I'm not restoring any hit points, so technically it wouldn't work. I would allow it anyway because it's the spirit of it. Like you're like, but like I said, theoretically, if you're dominated or charmed or something, you've probably taken some damage. So I like it. No, it's Spellbreaker's really good. I actually no complaints.
Good.
Except for the restore hit points, but I wouldn't rule it that way. I would as intended. Oh, I forgot to do the domain spells. Whatever. Potent spellcasting, like I said earlier, starting at 8th level, you add your wisdom modifier to the damage you deal with any cleric cantrip. Like we said, with wizard, adding 2 wizard cantrips, now you have access to, I think, 5 cantrips at 1st level. I didn't think they get 3. Not necessarily all their damage dealing, but that means that, you can have Firebolt, Toll the Dead. I think it's can be both. So, but that means that if they fail their con save or their wisdom save, then they take 1d8 or 1d12 respectively, plus the wisdom modifier. So it'll add up. And then, like you said, if you do, but it does say cleric cantrip. So that's the big thing, is that when you do the arcane, when you arcane initiate specifies that these cantrips count as cleric cantrips. So you would add your wisdom modifier to those ones. But if you took arcane initiate or magic initiate, it might not count though. Those probably don't count. But it's solid. It's like I said, most domains at 8th level either get potent spellcasting, because words are hard, which is good. It's a solid utility utility It's utility ability. Utility.
Words are hard.
Words are super hard. I've been talking all day long. No, it's a good ability. I like it. It might not come in clutch all the time, but hey,
it's useful.
Once you run out of spells, you're like, now it makes it more viable that you're like, okay, we're running. I'm 8th level and we're fighting something that only has a couple of hit points. I'll Toll the Dead or I'll Firebolt or I'll whatever. Maybe a D8 isn't enough damage, or 3D8 or 2D8. At this point, it's probably most of them are at least 2D whatever. But 2D6 plus 4, 2D6 plus 5, not bad. So, Arcane Mastery. At 17th level, you choose 4 spells from the wizard spell list, 1 from each of the following levels: 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. You add them to your list of domain spells. Like your other domain spells, they are always prepared and count as cleric spells for you.
Free spells are always nice.
Do you know what spell wizards get at 9th level?
Wish.
Yeah. You know what spell clerics don't get at 9th level?
They don't get Wish?
They don't get Wish. Sorcerers, bards, and wizards get Wish.
That is wild.
So this is technically at 20th level, clerics can effectively cast Wish once a week.
Yeah.
With their call their gods or whatever. I'm calling my dad.
You're gonna hear from my dad.
Divine intervention is what it's actually called. I just couldn't remember what it's called. But yeah, no, and they're domain spells, which means you don't have to prep it. You always have it. And how Wish works is its initial thing is cast any spell of 8th level or lower. So now, as being able to cast a 9th level spell, you can cast Wish as a cleric and then cast any wizard spell you want. Not already including the 6th level, 7th level, and 8th level wizard spells that you already have now.
Kalvin coming in clutch with that big brain, because I didn't even think about that. I have never once used Wish, so it's impressive.
Yeah. Wow, I haven't used Wish either. I just read it because it's cool. I really like. Yeah, Wish. As a wizard, you get Wish at 17th level. You can cast any spell of 8th level or lower. And and the better part is it doesn't require any. It doesn't require any spell components.
Oh wow! So all that extra stuff that you had to get, do not have to worry about.
So now as a cleric, as an arcane cleric, at level 17, you can cast Wish to cast Resurrection for free. Or there's a really good spell that I want to cast in the Hells or the Abyss. That turns like a 40 square feet, and essentially any fiends, undead, or fae in the area take like a ludicrous amount of damage. They can't teleport. It's a really good spell, and I think clerics are the only one who get it. But yeah, no, this is a great way to have a cleric as dabble in wizardry essentially, and I really like it. Oh, I didn't go over the domain spells.
Yeah, I was looking right at the cleric.
All right. First level, detect magic missile. Always a good choice. Love magic missile. Always a win. 3rd level, magic weapon, Nistill's magic aura. 5th level, dispel magic circle. 7th level, arcane eye, Liamon's secret chest. 9th level, planar binding, teleportation circle. So at 9th level, you can cast teleportation circle, which I don't think clerics normally get access to. So
now teleportation.
Yeah, they don't have teleportation, but actually teleportation circle is like teleportation essentially. You have to teleport to a circle.
Teleportation was its own separate thing.
It is. Teleportation circle. You can only teleport to with teleportation circle. I think you can only teleport to another teleportation circle.
I was about to say it's probably more restricted. And I'm assuming you can teleport more than one person with the teleportation circle versus teleport, which might only be one person.
You can teleport a bunch of people with teleportation circle.
That's cool.
Or with teleport. Yeah, so technically, that's once again side. With teleportation, you have to have something. I don't remember the wording. It's something of significance or something that ties that to that area that you're teleporting to. So Thazar, my super smart red wizard, he has jars of dirt from areas because everybody knows that, geologically, like the dirt is very specific to that specific area because, of so many effects, reasons. So you're also frozen.
Oh, great.
Sorry,
I was reading the teleport spell.
So yeah, so I could teleport, and it makes it so you don't have to roll if you have something of significance from that area. And my brother, I was like, what if I had a jar of dirt from the place I'm teleporting, want to teleport to? I was like, that's like I said, geologically is significant. And he's like, yeah, no, I'll allow it. So my red wizard will teleport places to get jars of dirt. Essentially, he has a shelf of jars, and then the date he got them. So then he has to re-up them every 6 months. But anyway, that's me bragging about how awesome I am. I never do that. What? No way. Um, I like the Arcana domain. It does it, but to me, it's like if I want to be a wizard, I'm just gonna be a wizard. I don't want to be a cleric wizard. Um, but
this is like multi-classing light.
Right, if you want, yeah, you're taking a wizard subclass as a cleric. It's not bad though. It's in no way is it bad. It's really good. I really do like it
I think it's useful
because the abjure whatever the banishment thing, the um, breaking spells, it's solid. It leans heavily into what it's doing, but it does it well. I think so. I like it. Any last words?
Surprisingly, I think it's good. I do agree with wanting to switch up some of the abilities, like the Abjure fucking spell you're talking about. But overall, I think it's decent. I could see myself playing this if I was role playing a specific type of cleric.
My red wizard, it would make perfect sense for him to be an arcana domain cleric, because I like the whole thing is with him is because he's a devout worshiper of Yurgle, so it makes sense that I could dip like how I play some of my characters. Some of the valid, especially in the Forgotten Realms, it makes way more sense because they're so heavily. You have to worship somebody, otherwise, when you die, your soul just disappears, pretty much. So like my red wizard could have I could have been like, all right, I think next level I'm taking a level in cleric, and my brother would be like, he would be like, you can't. He would ask me why. He wouldn't be like, you can't. It makes no sense. He'd be like, why you? I'm like, oh, it's because of this. I also could have justified warlock at some point, but I only wanted 3 levels of warlock so I could get the Book of the Moon thing, so I could research at night. Not even for any not because I wanted to be a powerful warlock, but because I want to get their book, their Pact of the Tome, and then the moon ability, so that I can do read at night and do light tasks at night, so I don't have to sleep anymore. So now my wizard has 8 more hours a day to do research because I'm that level of fucking nerd with him.
You just want to.
I can only read for 18 hours or 16 hours a day, and then I have to sleep 8 hours. But hear me out.
I do this.
What if? So, but yeah. Anyway, so that's the Arcana domain. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And now you get to listen to the outro song. And that's the outro song. Yeah.